Sinia Glam, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is a strong mindset. Sometimes in life, there is no other choice than to be strong. That is for sure. So, I learned many things the hard way, but I also learned that when it's a lesson that it have to be learned. So let's say it's a specific lesson that each individual person have to learn. So when you don't learn that the first time, it's going to happen the second time, the third time, until the lesson is learned. Once the lesson is learned, the test is over. And that is something that I experienced many times. Even recently, I have, not recently, but last year, I had this type of experience. Like, let's say, a few years ago, I got an experience about what to not do in certain things, maybe professional, let's say, right? Like, maybe, let's say, don't sign a document, read before the document and ask a lawyer, for example, to double check everything, to make sure everything is correct, and also make sure that this specific project aligns to what you are looking for, it aligns to your professional path. So many things, not just jump on it and say like yes to everything. At least for me, it's not working. So many times it happened that there is different projects, for example, talking about the professional life, and I say yes, I engage to that. And then after I realize I need to remain professional, of course, but maybe it's not something that fully aligned of my path, of my professional path, or something that I want. So I finish a project, everything is perfect, but it doesn't fulfill. But when I do things that is really aligned with my goals, with what I do, with what I love, with what I'm passionate for, then it's perfect. Life is not perfect because in every industry you always will have like a difficult clients, difficult people to deal with, or challenges. But just generally speaking, personal or professional, sometimes there is lessons to be learned about what to not do. And then if for example, the first time you say, "Oh, this is the experience, this is the what happened," and then if if that happen again, it's gonna be harder and harder and harder until the lesson is completely learned. And that happened to me, professional, personal, general speaking. So yes, like I previously say, sometimes there is not other choice than to be strong, because for different situations. Sometimes because you have to prove yourself, who you are, what you want to do in life, and stuff like that. But sometimes it's because maybe you are experiencing hardships, very low points in your life, you are completely down, either because it's like emotional, financially, or different type of situations that it just makes you to be in the lowest point of your life. But I also learned that the lowest point and the darkest point uh, in my life, for example, I learned the biggest lessons and the biggest experiences that shaped me somehow who I am today. So yes, it is important to have a strong mindset. Uh, it's many situations that it's difficult to control absolutely everything, and it's many situations that are made to break people because are too bad, are too disgusting, are too too bad. Too bad that you don't see it maybe the end or anything. But I think to have a strong mindset, it play a big role in our lives because I truly believe that our minds, it just control everything, our actions, our decisions, everything in our lives. So if we don't have control of our mindset, being strong, I feel like then it's game over because we live in a world that is not for weak people, unfortunately. Uh, so so yes, there is moments when you may feel weak or your mind is not in the right place, and it's when everything is just getting like worse and worse and worse. But if in the middle of the chaos you have like a strong mindset and you learn to navigate through that complicated or difficult situations, hardships, the best way as possible, then you win. Otherwise, it's just like lessons for the future. Then you say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that again." So I had different situations in my life. With few things, it helped me to have a strong mindset. Sometimes there is situations that, for whatever reason, is kind of like not that time to get over or to get out of that situation for whatever reason. Sometimes can be financially, or sometimes because maybe it's a contract in between, if it's professional, or sometimes maybe you have a job that is not the best, but you don't have another one, so you cannot quit. You know, like it's different situations, different um, things that can lead us to experience uncomfortable and negativity and toxicity and all this trash, you know. But there is few things about how to deal. Because sometimes, let's say, I have situations where it's kind of like deadlines, like I feel like just personal or professional, I'm just speaking in general. So I feel like, okay, so I know that it's until that time that I have to be in this situation. So many times it helped me a lot, music. I remember a situation I had in my life that listen to music, it just calmed my mind. It helped me to disconnect from what it was going around me at the time that I could not control, because sometimes in situations that it's impossible to just have that control over it. Uh, but I learned that I cannot control many times like my surroundings, like the people around me, or I cannot control 100% every situation or everything. But what I can control is my decisions, my way to respond to different situations, my way to react. Um, well, it has been a long journey to come to this point to learn that because many times I was very frustrated, like I wanted things certain in a certain way, and then just obviously didn't happen that way. So now I try to not complicate my life, or to complicate as less as possible, let's say. So I analyze situations. When it's problems, I find solutions. When it's complicated situations that is difficult to navigate, to deal with, I feel like, okay, so how I'm going to respond to that? So, like I said, nobody's perfect 24/7, but most of the time I try to think before I act. So I feel like, but obviously now, no? So, because I learned in the process throughout the years that what is the person that I want to be, how I want to handle problems or situations in life. Do I want to become a person that is calm, a person that is with principles and handle things the best way as possible. So we live in a world that is a lot of things going on, uh, many things going on actually. So I feel like the best for me, that it helps me to have a strong mind. Obviously, it has been the experiences because that I experienced throughout the years up to now that shaped the person that I am today, but also to see what it works for me. Let's say if I know that listen to music, it just relax me, it helps me to clear my mind, to reset, to recharge, and then I'm ready to take better decisions. That helps. And also to not repeat past mistakes, to understand that I cannot control absolutely everything, but I can control myself. I can control the way I react. I can control the way I think. I can control what I can accept or I cannot accept in my life. That, yes, I have the control and the power over it. So, yes, definitely, unfortunately, or I don't know if it's something bad or good, but in my opinion, we live in a world that is for the strong people, not for weak people. Weak people maybe suffer much more, or some other people may take advantage of it because unfortunately it's like that. But yes, I feel like I have a personality that I'm more aware now of situations, of people, and also I learned to let it go to a lot of things. Let it go to things that I know that it will not longer work in my life. So I just remove out of it to try to complicate as less as possible. But obviously, the experience that I have now is for the situations that I experienced before, like many bad experiences. I always feel and understand that as long as we are alive, it doesn't matter the age, we are going to continue learning and doing mistakes and falling and putting the pieces back together in different ways because you fix one thing and then you need to fix another and so on. But at least the most important for me is to not repeat past mistakes, to understand that I cannot control everything, but I can control myself, the way I act, the way I think, what I can accept or what I cannot accept in my life, and also to be strong. That is a priority for me because it's not so cool to let other situations, people, environments, or everything in general to break it. You know, obviously we are humans. There is times that we feel like, oh, I cannot say more or whatever. But it is important to take that time to recharge, to go back on track, to put all the pieces together. But overall, the most important is to be strong, to have a strong mindset and to face this world the best as possible. But, I feel like it doesn't matter how good or, well, if he's a bad person, obviously a lot of bad things will come easily. But even if you are a good person, problems come by itself. I have a lot of examples and experiences about that. But to not enter too much into details, I feel like it's important to be a good person, to know who you are, what you want, to handle every situation the best as possible. And yes, to be aware of everything, the actions of people, situations, everything. And then try to have like a control over actions I also believe a lot in karma. So karma is not just the actions, it's also the thoughts. If you think bad things about someone, bad things will come back. If you do actions bad things will come back. And the same with positive. Positive thoughts. When you wish the best to someone, when you do a good action, it will come back. So in the end of the day, I feel like it's important just to be strong, to have a strong mindset, to not repeat past mistakes, and to keep moving forward. And to be the best version of yourself as possible, no matter what. To face this world being healthy, being great, and having hobbies and activities that it makes you feel like you can recharge your energy, decompress, and then after you are ready to face everything that the world throws. So far, that is a few things that I can remember that it helped me up to now. But thank you so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. I am Sinia Glam, and I see you guys next time. Bye bye.